YouTube. It's me, Bob. 1939. It is warm as hell, but I'm gonna push through. I'm not gonna let the fact that England is basically one giant flare fruit at the moment get to me. I'm gonna do this review. Sorry it's a bit late. I was out this morning and there's a lot to talk about. Overall, this chapter a lot better than what we've seen in recent weeks from Oda. I don't know exactly what's going on with him, but I think a lot of people have really felt kind of just not as impressed with recent chapters, and this one, for me at least, was a step in the right direction. We finally, after like 100 chapters, probably more, we found Kan-Juro. And I think he's going to be a potential bad guy. I don't know what it is. When I saw Kan-Juro and Kinemon together, I just got this bad feeling that they could turn out to be allies of a bad guy. And that if the next stop is Wano Kingdom, then they could be the enemies of the Straw Hats. Also, Kan-Juro's ability, I don't know. To me, I'm not impressed. I mean, drawing things and bringing it to life, that's pretty cool, don't get me wrong. But we had Miss Wednesday, I think, who had a drawing based power, and then we had Giora, who had an art based power, and now I've got a third person with an art based power. That's two in one arc. I was hoping Oda would pull something a bit different out for Kan-Juro, but hey, I mean, I'm not going to complain. We've finally found him, we've made some progress. Now we can be done with that and just move on to the next bit. Luffy and everyone, they're running up, and this arc as well had a lot of comedy in it. There was a lot of kind of funny stuff from Kan-Juro based around the fact that he's got an art based devil fruit and yet he can't draw. That's funny. I will admit that when I first read it I was like, yeah, it's typical. And then on top of that, there was the conversation between Law, Kiros, Luffy and Cavendish. And they're just running up, and Cavendish is like, oh, Doflamingo has made a big mistake. He's brought all of us together in one place. There's no way we can lose, and I will be the one to take his head. And then Luffy's like, what are you talking about? It'll be me. And then Law's like, no, it'll be me. And then Kiros is like, thank you, but it will be me. And then Kiros is like, I have a 10-year grudge. Law turns around and says, yeah, well, mine's 13 years. Luffy turns around at that point and says, well, in that case, mine was 30 years. To which Cavendish just says, you are not 30 years old, shut up. So that was funny overall. And they're making progress. They finally get to the third level. And there's a load of weird, like, skeleton, toy soldier things. I have no idea what they are. Maybe it'll be explained next chapter, but I wouldn't count on it. Then we get Zoro versus Pika. And I wasn't too impressed with this fight, but I'll explain why in a second. So Zoro is throwing attacks at Pika, and Pika's got some pretty cool ability moves in which he can like just morph straight away into like spikes and crush Zoro and all this different cool stuff. But then eventually Robin, Bart and Rebecca kind of fly over on the Beetles and get their attention. And all of a sudden Pika jumps back into the whole statue and starts to throw a punch towards the flying three. That's what they're called now, the flying three. And Bart, they're all freaking out. Bart's like, I can't block this is way too big. Zoro uses 1,000 pound cannon! Or in the one it was Phoenix, one translation I read. And basically slices the statue like right through the middle, at which point Zoro says, I'm getting used to this. So is that something to do with his abilities? Or is that getting used to fighting Pika? I'm not sure. The translation wasn't really clear on that. But Pika kind of spits out blood, and Zoro's like, yeah, it isn't just Straw Hat Luffy and God Usopp. You know, I'm going to be the world's greatest greatest swordsman. You weren't even on my level. And, I mean, from that, it seems like that was a kind of battle ender. I hope it wasn't, because if that was all that this battle was, I'll be disappointed. Hopefully Pika's got something up his sleeve and Zoro will have to do something even more awesome to take him out, other than just 1,000 pound cannon. So yeah, overall we had a lot of progress. We had Zoro versus Pika, which possibly has now ended, I'm not entirely sure. We've had progress with Luffy getting to the 3rd level. We've had Kan-We-Trust-You-Juro finally unveiled. So yeah, a lot happened compared to previous chapters, and it wasn't all bad in my opinion. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. What do you think of Kan-We-Trusts-Yuro's power? Do you think Kan-We-Trust-You-Juro will be a bad guy? And do you think that would make Kinemon a potential bad guy? And would that be an interesting storyline, do you think, you'd like to see? Like, allies finding out that they're actually enemies? I mean, it's something that we've seen before, kind of with Bon Clay. But this seems, especially because they've been together for so long, it would be really kind of difficult for the Straw Hats to comprehend that, actually, these people who we cared about, these people who were friends, they're actually enemies. So yeah, my camera's dying, I've got to wrap this up really quickly. Next week's video will be slightly delayed because I'm away next week and I don't get back until Wednesday and I don't know what time. So bear with me next week as I try to get the chapter out as quickly as possible. Other than that, thank you guys for watching and I will see you next week.